Are you evolving or revolving? So Dr. Joshua Siegel's life mission is to inspire and guide people to fulfill their own extraordinary lives. In 2012, Dr. Siegel brought a groundbreaking wellness and weight loss program, the Revitalife Wellness and Weight Loss Program, to his practice. He became his own incredible success story using this program, and after personally completing 3 rounds, he lost a total of 125 pounds. Learn not only to lose unhealthy fat and gain health, and how to eat healthfully, increase hydration, and most importantly, find out what works best for your body. So without further ado, who made that up? Without further ado, I don't know. But anyway, here's Dr. Josh Siegel. Hey, Josh.
All right. Good morning, universe. Good morning, New Life Expo. I just wanted to thank Mark and everybody.
What happened?
Josh, unmute yourself.
Josh?
There we go. Got me?
All right.
All right. I had to get the connection. See, without connection, we're dead. So it's all about being connected in our lives. And what I really got from listening to Dan is, are we waiting to die, or you're living today as your last day? And so many people, as Dan said, take their health for granted until they're reacting to a crisis. And, you know, for me, you know, being my joke is a fat doctor, that I was over 358 pounds, and I got better in it for over 4 months. And literally at that time in my life, I wasn't doing the right thing. You know, we truly believe this is God's temple. How do we connect with it? You know, we think about mind, body, and spirit. And so the mindset that I really want to create today, the intention that I wanted to create today, give you some tools in your toolbox that you could literally evolve your life. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter what's going on in the government.
I just want
to mindset.
I want to interrupt you for 1 second. So for those people that are lost, in room number 1 is the panel, room number 6 is Daniel, and thank you, Josh.
All right. Awesome. Awesome. See, and this is a great metaphor for life. There's always going to be distractions. There's always going to be things that pull you off your mission, your mindset. But if we truly believe this is God's temple, what are we doing to create our best life? And as we saw with the corona, it doesn't matter where you think it comes from. People's bodies are not adaptable right now. The healthcare system is literally failing us left and right. And I think that's one of the biggest things spotlighted with corona. Over 200,000 people have died in America. And why do we have so many people in this world that we live in one of the greatest countries I believe in? But I think we have healthcare pretty backwards here in the United States. If we look at the majority of people in the U.S., 52% of people are obese. 50-60% have autoimmune diseases, cancers, diabetes. And you start looking about the gamut of diseases. No wonder you throw something new into the system and the body can't adapt. So if we start to treat this body and think about the neurological connection, you know, when our brains are in bodies, and as Dan said, when our hearts are in the right place, you know, I say we got to have a checkup from the neck up. And we literally got to start with the attitude of gratitude. You know, I think about, how do you start every day? You know, do you turn on the news? Do you read the paper? Or do you literally thank God for the ability that God gave me another day on this planet to live my life to the fullest? So I always say in the morning, what's your ritual? What's your preparation? Here in Long Beach, we get to jump in the ocean, and I call it the mikvah, which is a rebirthing. Every morning since the spring, I've jumped in the ocean, and the word mikvah is all about a rebirthing. And so I jump in the ocean, no matter the winter, cold, spring, summer, it doesn't really matter. But that's the mindset. Then I get my body moving, and then the lady before that, I don't remember her name, said she juices. You know, when you juice in the morning and you have that pulpit and you get that fiber, you start creating this movement in your body. And without that movement, we slowly start to disconnect. So think about, what is your morning ritual? You know, what is your proper preparation creates proper performance? And so this program that I got involved in, you know, when I was bedridden for over 3 months, and I got diagnosed with severe rheumatoid arthritis. I went to the hospital. They wanted to put me on a biologic drug, and the drug was Humira. And I first started to ask, what are the side effects? And the first side effect was non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And the second side effect was lowered immune system, fungal infections, tuberculosis you could be a candidate for. And I started looking at all this. I said, this does not make sense with my God-given purpose. If I truly believe there's an innate intelligence inside every man, woman, and child. So how do I create that intelligence to work with my body instead of fighting against myself? So I started looking at, first thing, my thoughts. What was my dominant thoughts in growing up in a world of loss, death, drug abuse. I was abusing myself on all those levels, even though it wasn't drugs. It was a food, it was a drug. You eat when you're happy, you eat when you're sad, and you start thinking about, in many faiths and many religions and many cultures, everything's based around food. And so I started to get aware of the foods I was putting into my body. And I said, I want to put more God-loving foods in. If you go into the supermarket, if you walk on the outside, those are the God-living foods. If you think about those inside aisles in a supermarket, and the more labels you read, the more words you can't pronounce, obviously it's not good for you. So think about when you're starting to put whole foods into your body, look at your blood type. Look at, your geographic location. What foods are in season? What foods come from the farmer's market, locally grown? When you start, getting food sourced from all these outside countries and all these preservatives, bread should not last months. If you use like the McDonald's thing, I always say, you put that food on a table, it will not break down because there's so many chemicals in it. And so when you start thinking about these God-loving foods, wheatgrass, sweet potatoes, green leafy vegetables, but you got to find what foods resonate for you. So this program, Revitalize, actually looks at your body's algorithm and will start to dictate and determine, based on your functional neurology, based on your stress levels, based on your family history. It will package this program and spit out a food journal based on what your body needs to be the best version of yourself. And so we always say we want to elevate our mind, body, and spirit. But if you're putting garbage in, you're going to get garbage out. And so I always say, it's not a diet. Diet is a short-term thing. This is a lifestyle. I could really say, knowing Mark for a good amount of time now, this is his lifestyle. People at this expo, this is your lifestyle. You've been living this way, this lifestyle. And then when things like this, Corona, whatever you want to call it, come at you, it literally shows us where our blind spots are. And we all have blind spots in our lives. And I truly believe if this is not a wake-up call, what's going on in the world, and like Dana said, if you're going to let the government literally dictate your form of health decisions, then we truly have a problem here. And it's not about being for or against something. My son is 5 years old and has never had a drug in his body, has never had a medical intervention. And, because I truly take a stand growing up in this lifestyle, when I had my challenge, that I want to create this for every man, woman, child in my office. And so we think about the mindset, we think about our foods, but really, I also, as a chiropractor, I talk about your spine as a lifeline. It's a tree of life. And when that tree is rooted, it doesn't matter what storms are being thrown at you. It doesn't matter what's going on out here. I always say, in the Bible says, it doesn't really matter who the president is because they're in God's hands. And that's the mindset that truly works for me. That's the mindset that I want to reach out to you out there and say, give it up to your faith. You're feeding your faith right now, or you're feeding your fear. And so we think about the spine as a tree of life. But when that brain and body are working together and your life flow is flowing at 100%, your body's going to be in homeostasis. Right now, what we're seeing with the world going on the way it is, people are stuck in a sympathetic dominance. And when we know we're in a flight or fight mode, what happens is your body produces all the cortisol levels raised up. Your body starts breaking down and literally not acknowledging how to thrive because it's stuck in a survival mode. And so think about this. We want to make sure all those fuses, like me going up to your fuse box and checking every one of those circuits. Because when every one of those circuits is on, your body's flowing. But if the circuit to your heart is off, or the circuit to your lungs is off, is that organ or system going to work at its best? or it's going to start to break down. And we always say that's what disease is. Dis-ease, lack of ease. So it's all about being optimal in our lives. It's all about being adaptable. And when our bodies are adaptable and working optimal, we are in a sense of homeostasis. And that's the mindset I really think we need to evolve into right now. And why I titled this talk, Are You Evolving and Revolving? Well, if you ask about the concept of revolving, think about the definition of insanity. People doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting different results. And so that's the definition of insanity. You know, what we, like Einstein said, if you do the same thing that created the problem, you're going to create the same problem. Obviously, we need a new set of eyes and a new set of ears and a new mindset to navigate through these challenging times. But you know what? I don't really want to call them challenging times. You know, without pressure, we don't grow. And think about how a diamond gets created. You put enough pressure under a piece of coal, it creates a diamond. So I use this pressure, what's going on in the world right now, and to the people that we are taking care of, and saying, how could you use this pressure to grow? How could you use this pressure to cultivate a mindset to live to your highest self good, which is God? And if we truly believe that, then you know what? It doesn't matter what's going on out this world. We can be in this world and not be of this world. You know, we don't have to feed into this stuff. And, you know, we always talk about here, you can either stuff your face or face your stuff. Well, think about it. You have an opportunity every day to face your stuff. Think about how awesome that is. How awesome that you can change. It doesn't matter what happened yesterday. I always say, let's be a better version today than we were yesterday. So when you create a structured plan, you know, the plan that we work with people is usually about 90 days to get started. That's just the icing on the cake, literally, but you're having no cake on the program. But literally, that's the beginning. And we truly look at our lives like an onion. Every day we want to peel away another layer. Like Danon said, you know, his heart literally was closed off, so he had a heart opening experience. But why do we have to wait till that stuff happens and say, you know what? I'm going to appreciate today. I'm going to be thankful for that I'm alive today. You know, there's so many things to be thankful for that we kind of take this for granted. But think about our bodies as the greatest intelligence inside the world, because we are created in God's image. That's the world that I believe in. That's the word. And think about that mindset. If we are truly created in God's image, how do we treat this temple or church as God's temple or church? We have to do the right things. We have to cultivate that year after year, you know, and it's, you know, you see Americans that really got hit with the corona, 50, 60, 70 years old. But you look at a lot of these people, and one thing that you have seen is the average 50, 60, 70-year-old is on 5 to 10 medications a day. 5 to 10 medications a day. So what you think the mindset is, when something gets new thrown into the matrix, I call it, that your body can't adapt. But when I had corona in January, you know, I was, you know, basically in bed for 2 weeks. They weren't testing for corona at that time. They diagnosed me with a double ear infection, sinusitis, bronchitis, and double pink eye. And then they gave me an antibiotic. And, you know, I took an antibiotic because I haven't taken a drug like that in 30 years. And so I tried, it did nothing. But, you know, when you go through growing pains and you truly acknowledge that everything is a process and it's not happening to me, but this is happening for me, then you can use anything in your life as a tool to evolve. And so when I went through the corona, one of the really cool parts about it was, you know, I did an antibody test and I had that frequency inside me. And as an essential worker, I was able to be open the whole time and really help people navigate through this challenging time. Because listen, it would be a fool to say this is not a challenging time. It would be a fool to say that what's going on in the world is not challenging. But when you have a mindset, you know what? It really doesn't matter what's going on out there. You know, I'm responsible for the effort, not the outcome. And so think about that in your healthcare process, your lifestyle process. You have the ability to change a disease. You have the ability to change your mindset. You have the ability to change your focus every day. And one of the things that I truly believe that you can get better each day instead of getting bitter. And so that's how simple it is. But you have to work your plan. You know, faith without works is dead. We always tell people here. And you got to take action. You could say, I want to get healthy. You could say, I want to create this. But until you make a choice and take action, that process and your story is never going to change. So think about the bigness of what we're talking about here. And then every speaker on this is giving you bits of wisdom. It's like pearls. And, you know, I always say that in the Bible, they talk about sowing seeds. That, you know, that first seed might not get roots, and that seed, a storm can come along and push that seed along. And that second seed might not get rooted. But if you keep the parable of 3 or 4, and if you keep planting those seeds, you know, if you truly believe we are children of God, we will have favor. We will have blessings. And you can turn things going on in your life, any burden, any challenge into your blessing. But you got to do the work. And, you know, our job here is to help you as a teammate to be part of your spiritual family, to literally evolve your process. So let's get back to, you know, Revitalife. And, you know, the structure of it, like I said, is 90 days. You're also doing affirmations. You're literally reprogramming your subconscious mind. And one of my mentors was Louise Hay. You know, I love the mirror work she had taught us. And the mirror work says your brain is like a muscle. The more you work it, the stronger it becomes. And that's what we, like I said before, faith without works is dead. And so you got to do things every day to grow that muscle. And even, you know, reading the Bible, reading spiritual books, you know, reading things out loud, listening to high vibrational music, but also even hanging out around high vibrational people. One thing I love about the expo is everybody that comes here has a big vision in the sense of they want to be around spiritual love, light beings. You know, yesterday I was playing outside with my son and people started talking about politics. And I just said, not on my watch, because people will try to pull you into their stuff. So think about, look at your life right now. Take a literally survey. The 5 people you hang around most is where you're geared to, where you're vibrating at. And if you don't like your frequency and vibration, you got to change your vibration. And that's really what we talk about. Everything in life is vibration and frequency. So a health, in my mind, on this call is high level. You can't live with happiness and sadness at the same time. You can't be happy and sad. So you're either living your light, you're living your passion, you're living your purpose, or you're living someone else's purpose, or you're literally just surviving. And so if we truly believe why we're here, that we're designed to thrive, what are you going to do today to allow yourself to thrive? And so when you structure your life about putting all these good things into action, you know, you don't even know possible, you know, there's 350 feeling a certain way or thinking a certain way because it becomes a neurological pattern. And, you know, the science and quantum physics actually shows now called neuroplasticity, neurogenesis, that you can actually rewire and refire your brain. You can rewire your whole neurological connection. You know, I believe, you know, what we say here, we're physical beings, but we're truly spiritual beings. And we have to have those 2 frequencies dance together. You know, we can be all spiritual you want, but if you don't take care of this physical vessel, what happens? And, you know, we know it breaks down. We know the body will break down more often if you don't treat it right. We know that the body will literally get stuck. And so think about this today. You know, you have an opportunity today to make the best day ever. You know, we don't know when our day is going to be and when we're going to literally leave this to the next dimension or the next place we're going to go. But you have an opportunity today to say, I can make a change. You know, I always say, I can, I will, I must. And every day I meditate. Every day we read affirmations. Every day we do prayers. You know, we have a prayer circles. And, you know, but you got to unwrap your gift. That's why it's called living in the present, because you are that gift. And if you don't unwrap your gift, you're literally leaving stuff out on the table. And so think about where we're at today. Think about what's going on in the world. We need more people like you than ever. We need more people to open up your heart. The fields are white with the harvest, and you got to tear up the husk. But I look at, weight, emotional weight, physical weight, chemical weight, environmental weight as things that you can literally address to allow your spirit to grow even further. I always love this quote: you never know how far reaching the things you say and do today will affect the lives of millions tomorrow. But that's what we want to teach you here. That's what we want to connect with. That's what we want to open up that space and that possibility, because you don't know. You don't know if you take one more extra step, or, you don't know if you don't do this today, or, sleep in a little bit, how much time you're wasting in your life. Think about that mindset. And, it's that simple. I always say the truth is simple, but it's not if you don't work your plan. And so just close your eyes for a minute, everybody. Not if you're driving, but just close your eyes and think about the possibility from 90 days from now, if you started to work on this physical body, if you started to feel better, if you started to allow yourself to function better, if you started to eat more clean foods, if you started to have more good thoughts, if you started to, pour more energy into your marriage, into your children. I heard a quote the other day that said, if you treated your marriage like your first date, most marriages would be a lot different. Most people wait till the end of their marriage, and their issues come up, and then they start working on things. But you imagine if you lived your life as a first date, or like the first time you did something, you had that enthusiasm and that zest for life. I use the life of a child. My son's going to be 5, like I said. And, he wakes up. He's not thinking about yesterday. He's about living in that moment, about experiencing life full out, leaving nothing on the table. Literally, boom, he shows up. And when he goes to bed, we have him meditating at night. Start these processes when there's an analogy we always use. A healthy adult doesn't create a sick child, but a kid's like wet cement, and what you throw at them, over time, if you keep throwing that cement to them, negative cement, it gets hardened, and then that stuff gets stuck on us. So our job and our vision is to help you chip away any debris that doesn't serve you, help you chip away a mindset, help you chip away foods, help you chip away emotional baggage. We truly look at how do we connect to your soul. And right now what we're seeing is, especially you see so many people, I'm sitting in my office right now and watching so many people walk around with a mask on, and literally think about people saying to me, masks save lives. I say, you know what? I disagree, but I can honor what you're saying. You know what saves your life? Your immune system. You know what saves your life? Your body's ability to adapt. You know what saves your life? The connection between you and God. And so when you see so many people out there being brainwashed with TV, with what's going on, billboards, I say we need to wake up, people. We need to share this message. We should have all our practice members, all the people in our inner circles hearing this message at the expo, hearing this message on podcast, on radio, wherever your tools are, wherever your resources are. Get this message out there, because like Dannon said, man, the government's trying to take away more and more liberties right now. We need light warriors out there. We need people to shout from the rooftops what's possible. We need people to take a stand for their health and healing, not put it into somebody else's hand. Because if we keep doing this, I don't know. I don't even want to feed that wolf. What the wolf I want to feed is, man, we are children of God, and God is good, and we need to feed our faith and not our fear in this moment. And that's how big this movement is right now. This is a more critical time to get involved in your healthcare, healthcare planning, your healthcare movement, and to literally teach people and lead by example. When you lead by example, it's easy to share this. And I truly believe, listen, I'm here for a reason. Do I need to work more on my health in different ways? Of course. Am I the best version of myself today that I'm aware of? Yeah. But I truly believe with all the resources there are now and all the tools that each and every one of us can get even better. And so I don't know how much time I got right now. Anybody know? Okay. All right.
You have a few more minutes.
All right. Awesome. Did anyone have any questions?
We are going to be moving you into room number 6 for Q&A, and they can have one-on-one
Oh,
time.
cool. Okay. So, one of the things I just want to put out there to everybody is if this message moved you, if you do want to learn more, you can come to room 6. But also, if you want to find out about us, we're Cafe of Life Chiropractic in Long Beach. And if you mention the New Life Expo, a little gift to you can come in for a complimentary health and wellness evaluation to see really how healthy you are. And so that's the mindset. I just want to thank everyone for getting on this. Blessed to be part of this mission. God gave me a second chance in life when I was like I said, when I was bedridden with rheumatoid. And to touch base on the rheumatoid, I had my blood test the last 3 years, and I have no more rheumatoid factor. It is everything is in the right range. So when someone tells you you're going to have to live with a disease for life, they don't know how powerful God is. And when you do the right things and live a God-loving life, you could change anything. This is just my point of view. This is what I've seen for myself. I've seen it through many other places. People heal themselves of cancers, autoimmune diseases, but it takes a lot of work. It really does. It takes a lot of work to be healthy, to stay healthy. It's not like you get healthy and you give up on life, or you get healthy and you're done working. You got to work your plan and plan your work for the rest of your life. And that's how simple this is, but it also takes a lot of faith, knowing that you have the ability to heal. I always say, do you have to see it to believe it? Or do you believe it and then see it? Well, I had to believe I was going to get healthy before I was able to clear out this rheumatoid story. When my leg was 3 times the size and it looked like I had elephantitis, literally, and the doctor goes, we got to put you on steroids for 6 months and this biologic drug. I said, there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way. And so I prayed. And I said, God, please give me somebody to help me. Please give me the tools to help me, help myself. And then I ran into this man who created this system. And, the system has evolved. And he was my personal coach going through this process. I thank him so much every day, because now being a new dad and my wife's, 15 weeks pregnant, I'm going to be 45 this year. And I'm truly healthier now at 44, going on 45 in December than I was in my 30s. And so as you get older, you don't have to get sicker. Look at Jack LaLanne, one of my mentors. I love it. The juice man, chiropractor, fitness guru. But, we got to work it. If you don't take care of your car, it breaks down. If you don't take care of this vehicle, you're going to break down. The Bible says we should have 120 years at least. But you got to work this. And so once again, thank you. I think my time's up. And how do I get moved, engineer?
The engineer will move you. Thank you very much. Why don't you tell them how they can reach you?
All right. So how you can meet me, room number 6. But if you want to look us up, It's cafeoflifelongisland.com or howtoloseweightny.com. We have 2 locations, Belmore and Long Beach, and our phone number is 516-425-0113. And if you mention the expo, you can come in for a complimentary health and wellness evaluation. Our website is, our email is cafeoflifebelmore@hotmail, and our website is cafeoflife, Long Island spelled out, .com. Thank you, everybody.